So last video we talked about the formation of urine ultrafiltrations. In this video, we're going to continue for these two, reabsorptions and secretions. Okay, 重新吸收好的东西 and secretion 废物拿去丢掉。For this title, if you're having all the revision book in your house with different publisher, okay, there will be a little bit difference for the explanation. So that's why in so many years when I'm teaching this title, and sometimes the student will come back say my teacher is different, okay, but never mind, I having all the revision book in my house. When you having the book, you trust the book, but I have another book, I trust my book. And finally, I join all the book together, make a final conclusion and tell you this title. So it may be a bit different from others teacher, but never mind啦，但book你啦不是很重要的小事哈，没关系啦。Next, so I start now. Reabsorption 重新吸收，this diagram actually is quite good lah, but it's too complicated, so 不可以这样写人啦，对不对 ？Wrap it， 对不起 ，OK 的，只是它麻烦了 ，OK 太多东西我们又没有用到，麻烦了 ，OK so now selective reabsorptions. Before I start this title, remember what is meant by reabsorptions. Reabsorption means reabsorb the useful substances from the renal tubule into the blood capillary again. 重新把好的东西 okay, absorb from renal tubule into the blood capillary again. So remember, when I say absorb mean from renal tubule, or you copy here, 写在这边慢慢不用紧的 ，OK， 好过等一下你不明白一直骂我 ，OK， reabsorb the useful substances from the renal tubules to where， 然后去哪里呢？To blood capillary， 回去我们的血管啦， or go back to our body 啦 ，go back to blood capillaries。OK， 就是从肾的那些 renal tubule 肾管道跑进我们的血管，吸回去。OK， 来 story start again， 故事开始。Selective reabsorption， 选择性的选择好的东西吸回去。OK。So what is this? This is the glomerulus that having the process called ultrafiltration, 对不对 ？So glomerulus 肾小球 that having the process called ultrafiltrations. So under the glomerulus, it must be the Bowman capsule that accept the filtrate, 接受它的 filtrate, okay? And the filtrate finally will be sent to the renal tubules. So this is the Bowman capsule.Okay, to correct the filtrates. What is this? 这些东西是什么呢？ This is a contents from the blood. This is the blood actually come from the efferents arteriole, 对不对？进来的那个小动脉啦。Okay, so efferents arteriole, it carry the blood rich in oxygen. 它里面有很多的氧气。Glucose, amino acid, salts, and urea. Okay, but remember, glucose, amino acid, salts, and urea, they will diffuse through the glomerulus capillaries and will be filtered up and accepted by Bowman capsule, 对不对 And other material, something like blood cells, platelet, 血小板 okay, plasma protein, or maybe fat, they will be not diffused through the wall, so they continue to flow inside the efferents arteriole 出来的小动脉。Still remember? So the process here actually we studied above 头顶啊。This is what we call ultrafiltration, page number 24. Okay, so efferents arteriole 出来的小动脉 it contains plasma proteins. Okay, 血清蛋白质 hormone 啊 antibody 啊都可以算进里面的 and the red blood cell blood plasma, okay, and they are more concentrated. 它的水不见，它这边比较浓了 okay, start now. So how is the process of selective reabsorption 重新吸收回去 Let me absorb the material from renal tubule back to the blood capillary 啦，这种情况就叫 reabsorptions. Okay, number 1 第一。So when the filtrate start to flow away from the Bowman capsules, the filtrate will be first entering the proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal convoluted tubule 前面盘绕着的管道 ，OK， Or for the cell inside the convoluted tubule, for the cell inside the proximal convoluted tubules, the cell actually lives in mitochondria. 它的细胞里面有很多的 mitochondria. The organelle 细胞器叫 mitochondria. Okay, and the mitochondria generate a lot of ATP molecules. Okay. But what's the function of these ATP molecules? Supply energy, 对不对？提供能量。But why they need so much of ATP molecule in the cell for the proximal convoluted tubule? Simple, because they need to carry out a process called active transport. They're going to pump something, okay? Or they're going to absorb 它将会吸收东西啦，帮助它搬东西过来又过去了。Okay, so the ATP from the mitochondria actually is for the purpose called active transport. Okay, but where is the process take place, or how is the process take place? 它的过程将是发生的呢 ？Okay, so inside the proximal convoluted tubules, glucose, amino acid, sodium ion, okay, chloride ion, they are actively reabsorbed. So they will be reabsorbed by using the method called active transport 啦，搬回去 ，pump from the renal tubule back to the blood capillary. Pump, purposely pump, 出力的 pump, 用力的 pump, okay, with the energy. So glucose, amino acid, sodium, chloride ion, they are actively reabsorbed 被吸收回去 ，okay. Next. And at the same time, water move up by osmosis into the blood capillary. So water will be also reabsorbed. 水呢也重新被吸收 by using the method called osmosis. 不过水用的方法呢就叫 osmosis. But do you know? 你知道吗？Okay, for the proximal convoluted tubules, when they absorb the water, almost 80% of the water will be absorbed back here. 这边呢，它几乎就吸回了80% 的水 ，so a lot of water will be absorbed back. Okay, not become urine. When you pass urine, okay, the water contents in the urine, maybe they were just 1% only in your body, compared to your body water contents. 小便小出来的时候，那小出来的液体啊，可能就是你的身体的1% 罢了，1-2% 罢了，一点点罢了。So almost 80% of the water will be absorbed back， 就会被吸收。Okay, and for this book, okay. Wow. For this book, it says the urea will be secreted into the blood capillary. But what for? 为什么会这样呢？ Why the urea, the waste material, you have to absorb back into the blood capillary? But actually, if I check all the book, the book take like this 30多块了。Okay, I have no comment with the book I using their book. Okay, so how can I comment? 对不对 So after I make actually we having 2 book talk like this, you know, 有2本书是这样讲的。But another 2 or 3 book they don't talk about urea. Okay, they will say the urea will be continue to flow. They are not absorbed. So for me, I prefer you help me to cancel this one. 你把它割掉。Okay, and the best, the arrow also cancel. Okay, 这边也割掉。Nobody know. 没关系。Okay, so we follow certain book that don't talk about urea will be reabsorbed. Otherwise, you will be confused. 吃饱没事做，把那个不好的 urea 吸回去做什么呢 ？Okay, so this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Different book, different story 啦。Okay， 然后买到什么书的人就讲什么话，对不对 ？I have no comment. 我对这种东西没有兴趣的啦。我只要你简单方便罢了。我不是做 tuition 的。I'm selling solution. 我是解决你的问题的人，而不是tuition teacher 啦，只是一个名字罢了。我是来解决你啊，废话，打广告啊。Okay, so for me, I refer all the book lah. Finally, I prefer these ones. Okay, urea. So urea will be continue to flow inside the renal tubule. Urea 继续的流动 and not go to the blood capillary. Is it okay? Okay. Next. So where are you now? You maybe turn back to page number 24. Okay. 你转回你的第23、第24面。And you can make yourself clearer 啦，给自己更厉害一点点。We make ourselves slower. 我们慢一点点，我们抄一些东西。So when the filtrate move from the glomerulus go to the Blaumann capsule, the filtrate finally will flow to the proximal convoluted tubules. So inside the proximal convoluted tubules, some of the material will be reabsorbed where reabsorb back to the blood capillary 重新吸收回去 blood capillary. But what are the substances? So I'm going to put the substances here. You're going to cross the name called proximal convoluted tubule. 这个名字会被盖掉。So you 你自己找地方啦。聪明哦你哦。搞呢。So glucose amino acid they will be reabsorbed by using the method called active transport. Active. Where's the D 跑去哪里？讨厌啊，这个老师写字也写错。So glucose amino acid they will reabsorb by using the method called active transport. Okay. Sodium and chloride ions. Okay. Sodium will be reabsorbed by using the method called active, and chloride will be reabsorbed by using the method called passive. But for me, 蛮麻烦啦。Okay, one active, one passive. So if you remember more, it doesn't mean your result can be better, you know. 都没有用到的啦。Okay, so you just remember active or passive. Water will be reabsorbed by using the method called osmosis. And now they will come to lobes of Henle. 现在我们就来到 lobes of Henle 啦。Okay. For lobes of Henle, in my memory, I just remember the reabsorption that take place at the lobes of Henle will be there is absorb the water and mineral, and the mineral will be sodium and chloride. More to sodium and chloride. But how is the reabsorption? 它的吸收是怎样的呢？ We stay here. 我们在这边呢。Okay. So for lobes of Henle, we can separate it into two parts. 我们可以把它分成两个部分。Descending limbs 这个是跑下去的 limbs 啊。Descending limbs, and for the part that flowing up 流上来的这边呢 we call ascending limbs. Okay, so for the descending limbs, what going to reabsorb? 它吸回什么东西呢 Water. So copy here. Okay, at the descending limbs of the lobes of Henle 在这边呢 Okay, what will be absorbed? 什么东西被吸收呢 Water. Okay, by using the method called osmosis. And now, in the ascending limbs of the lobes of Henle, what will be absorbed? 什么东西被吸收呢 Okay, sodium ion, chloride ion will be absorbed. Sodium 跟 chloride will be absorbed. Okay, but how is the process? I maybe talk more lah, but you don't mind lah, 哈？我讲多一点点，你就不要伤心，你不要害怕。Okay, you see, for the ascending limbs, they're having the active transport or maybe passive transport for the sodium and chloride. So in making the concentration gradient here will be higher. 就造成的这边的养分呢，矿物质呢比较高。So that's why when the concentration here is high and the concentration gradient here is low, okay, water will be reabsorbed. 水呢就从 low concentration flow to the high osmotic pressure here. 从这边多盐的地方，这边少盐的地方，对不对？sorry， 从这边多水的地方跑去这边多盐少水的地方。Sorry， 讲多一次，从这边多水跑去这边少水跟多盐的地方了。So that's why the water will be absorbed here， 就造成了水一直被吸收回来了。Okay, so lobes of Henle, it will be more concentrated to the absorption of water and sodium ion, chloride ion. Okay, but no need to separate them. So 不用讲到这样明显的，没有用到的，讲到来也是浪费时间罢了，浪费你的青春。Okay, so lobes of Henle, it will be absorb the water, sodium and chloride ion. That's all. 这样子就够你考试，而且等了10多年很少用到，几乎没有用到。明白我讲什么吗？不要以为你的书大本好了啊，书大本好重就有，好了以后才讲。Okay, so lobes of Henle, it will absorb the water, sodium and chloride ion. 那刚才那个解释到一片混乱的呢 ，very sorry， 我不应该讲这样多的，对不对？Or remember something to remind you. So the reabsorption process, okay, what to absorb? More or less, 吸收什么东西多还是少 ？More water will be absorbed, more mineral salt will be absorbed. All this actually controlled by hormone in our body, 对不对 ？Still remember hormonal coordination. 要吸多要吸少，不要吸还是要丢掉 ，depends on the hormone coordination in your body 啦。Okay, so the reabsorptions take place here actually for homeostasis regulation. 我们吸东西回来，其实要控制身体里面的平衡。Homeostasis 就是身体的平衡 ，regulation 保持身体平衡。And remember, all these actually they are controlled by hormonal coordination 荷尔蒙的协调，对不对？之前写的。And any example is one example. Who can control the reabsorption of water? Or who can control the reabsorption of the mineral in your body? There must be certain hormone that responsible for the absorption like this, 对不对 ？Okay, for example, still remember 鼎鼎有名的 antidiuretic hormone ADH. And these hormones, they'll ask you to absorb back the water and making the urine contents become less, 对不对 ？Or aldosterone, or this hormone going to absorb more mineral back to your body. Okay, it will be produced by adrenal gland， 好像是肾上腺做出来的，对不对 ？I forget， 如果讲错不要骂我哈，也不要叫我重拍啊，懒惰咯。You check back, okay? But why I write these two names? They are the name in your past year. You need to write them in your past year. Otherwise, I don't tell. Okay, so lots of handy except water and mineral, sodium chloride, okay, ion. And next, we go to the last part, distills. Distills convoluted tubules. 最后的 convoluted tubule 啦。Okay, so now more water, sodium ion, chloride ion will be reabsorbed. 更多的水 mineral salts will be reabsorbed. But is there any waste material like ammonium ion, hydrogen ion, potassium ion, urea, creatine? 什么叫 creatine? Okay, or creatine 不知道。Or this is what we call muscle acid. 肌肉酸。不好的东西啦 Drug or any toxins, they'll be secreted up from the blood capillary into the renal tubule. 如果血里面呢还有很多的废物啦 they'll be secreted up， 这边就被排出来 go to the distal convoluted tubule 啦，从这边排过来 so the arrow is opposite 倒反的 okay. So remember, a lot of water, mineral, they will be all absorbed back. And just a small amount of mineral and water, they will be removed from your body and become the urine. So it contains 1%. So at the end of the distal convoluted tubule, it contains only almost 1% of the water in the filtrate with the little of salt. 只有一点点的盐跟一点点的水罢了。And now the waste water and mineral salts, they will go to where? From the distal convoluted tubule, they will go to the collecting ducts. Collecting ducts, 对不对？And the collecting ducts here are going to collect the waste material from different distal convoluted tubule and finally send to where? Okay, send to the ureter, bladder, urethra to be secreted. 然后被排出来了 to be excreted. So collecting duct 收集尿液啦。收好过后用 ureter 送去膀胱，用 ureter go to the bladder 过后用 urethra and excreted to the toilet bowl， 然后排去 toilet bowl 了。Okay, so this is reabsorption， 整个故事就叫重新吸收。Okay, how about secretion? Okay, so during the process of selective reabsorption, actually the secretion take place at the same time。同时间其实它已经在排出东西了，对不对？那 you see, some of the good material they will be absorbed back. But some of the waste material like urea continue to flow. So the urea concentration getting higher and higher 啦。So urea 的浓度呢就越来越高了，对不对？从上面跑下来 ，urea 就越来越多了。So secretions actually also take place here 啦。这边呢也在 excretion 排泄，也在这边发生了。然后从这边又再去我们的膀胱，这种就叫 excretion 排泄啦。Okay, so set the title for reabsorption and excretion 排泄了 ，OK 一起的啦，拜拜 ，OK。